My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFA.
12 News sports director, newly engaged, Newman University alum, Teejay Cleeland. What's up, Teejay?
Hello. I'm glad that the introduction music for my segment's a little bit more upbeat than last time we did this. You're going to make me cry the last time I was.
What was it? Do you remember?
Something about Ohio, but it was probably before I was born, so I'm not going to try to name it.
All right. Well, a lot of things were before you were born, which is why Jason and I...
Isn't that the truth?
Which is why Jason and I determined that you are far too young to be getting engaged/married. What's the deal? What got into you?
I don't know, man. Just something came over me. I saw it in a vision last night or something. I'll just blame it on that.
Were you in trouble and just thought this is a great way to get out of it? And asked her to marry you? Because that's what I did, and I've been married for 20 years.
That's a great idea. I thought that I might have kept in my pocket a little bit longer, and had a rain check for the next thing that if we were ever in an argument or something, I could have pulled that one out. But I'll just tell her that she can just hold this one for next time if something happens. So
how long did you have the ring before you asked her?
2 weeks.
Wow.
And it was dying. I had to go. I'd get home from work. Here's if anybody at home needs a hiding spot. This was from her dad. Told me to hide it in my golf bag in our outside closet. So every time I'd get home from work, I had to go home and check and make sure that it was out there. And she didn't decide to go to the driving range and take my clubs anywhere or something like that. So it's a good hiding spot though. She had no idea.
See, I hid mine in my workout clothes drawer, and it was there for 7 months. No one found it.
7 months?
Yep.
Wow.
I was holding on to it.
Commitment phobe Jason Duda.
Holding on to it and used it when I got myself out of a big jam. I was going to do it anyway, so I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone, boys. See, you can learn. Everyone listening, now you can learn something every day.
What if you got yourself in so big of a jam that she says no?
Well, then I wouldn't have had to worry about anything at that point.
Somebody loudly disputing TJ's engagement. TJ Cleeland, our guest from 12 Sports. So we were talking about the Royals in the last segment. You got to be over the moon with your team right now, 9-4. Obviously chasing the Guardians still, but is this a sustainable start for Kansas City?
I'm fully on the overreacting train. If you've been following me on Twitter, I think that they're going to win the World Series. I actually put down my bet on DraftKings the other day.
FanDuel, you mean?
I think it's the FanDuel sponsored show. Excuse me. I used code Lutz.
Thank you.
What were their odds before I let you finish?
I think I got it at 11,000. So
not bad.
$100 for 11,000.
Yeah, I did not put $100, but yeah, that's the odds. Yes. I'm not that much of an overreactor quite yet, but yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of an appointment TV right now if they keep playing like they've played the last week. Yeah,
but can they sustain it? Like Jeff said, Jeff and I, and we mentioned this before you came on, but we were going over the rosters in the AL Central, and none of them scared us. None.
Nope.
None. But now you look at the Royals, and they're hitting the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole selling point of all the delusional Royals fans this offseason, because every offseason they're a little bit delusional, and it's always kind of the talking point of, well, the Central's not great. You know, occasionally you'll have a good Twins team or a good Guardians team kind of leading the pack the last, decade pretty much, but that was kind of the selling point this summer of like, well, they're going to make some moves, and this division's really kind of up for anybody whoever wants to show up, because, you see the Twins injury history and, the Guardians' ability to choke every year at some point.
True. True.
So, that was kind of the delusional selling point. Now it's kind of coming to fruition a little bit. They're not too thick into the division or anything like that, but it feels like it's a real possibility is the word that I'll throw out. So,
talking with Channel 12 sports director Teejay Cleeland. So I don't think you can overreact about Bobby Witt at this point. I don't know if you're a baseball savant guy, but his page is all 99 and 100th percentiles.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Again, 13 games, but that more than anything indicates what type of skill and you have and what type of player you are. So, man, he's only 23 years old, TJ. This guy's and he signed long term. I don't like that.
I even just like the bare factor of just watching Royals games. I was there on opening day and I was there on Easter just watching them in person, and it's just the amount of baseballs that he can get his hands to, and you even saw it last year how fast his hands were and how good of a swing he had for being such a skinny guy, having so much power off the bat. Like you said, the exit velocity is like in the 99th percentile of the league or something ridiculous like that. And so you mesh that with 30 stolen bases. It's a franchise player and one of the best players in the league, and if his hitting stats keep up like this and he can have his defense and his stolen bases, and if the Royals can be halfway decent, you have to have a conversation about where he's at in the ranks of at the end of the season of an MVP race, in the talks, at least top 10 or something like that.
Better than that. He was 7th last year, and he looks to be much better this year, perhaps.
Yeah.
And, the Royals, and we've criticized them for years, they don't spend any money. How big of a deal is it for them to sign Witt for as much money and for as long as they did?
Yeah, no kidding. I think that I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it was before him, the highest paid Royal was Alex Gordon, and I think Bobby Witt beat him by like $200 million or something of that nature, of the longest contract or the biggest contract or something like that. It's crazy. I don't know if that's the John Sherman effect, if this is going to be the new norm, that they're going to be buyers to do this kind of thing, but it's definitely exciting to watch this kind of baseball whenever you're used to the heart wrench of growing up. I watched the World Series run, and in that offseason I had to come to terms with Lorenzo Cain's not going to play for him next year, or the terms of Eric Hosmer is going to leave. We can't pay him. We can't pay him. And you have to kind of settle for one guy, and the one guy was Alex Gordon. And then this summer they go out and they sign 4, kind of marquee free agents of the free agency that we had this last year, and they're kind of proven it so far that they've had a great start. So I'm excited. What I'm excited for now is that if they can even sustain this through the first half of the season of being buyers, I don't know what that'll look like. The prospects, the farm's kind of been depleted a little bit. Everybody's in the big leagues now, but if they can go out and buy some bullpen pieces, it could be a really fun second half of the season, I think.
Teejay Cleeland, our guest. I'll shift gears, go to college basketball. Not that these necessarily need to be compared to each other, but we've seen KU now go out and get a couple guys in the portal who seemingly will play roles for them next year. K-State has gotten Michigan's leading scorer, and here's Wichita State, still nobody, and they got visits lined up, and they've had visits, and you just got to try to remain optimistic that they'll put together a roster. Are you optimistic that they can rebuild / reload, whatever they're trying to do?
I'm still pretty optimistic, I think. The whole Isaac McBride thing is the thing that I've been tuned into the most. He scored 19 points per game at Oral Roberts last year, and he played under Paul Mills. And so I think that gives them a fighting chance to land him, and he's a guy that I think he's ranked in the 24/7 transfer portal rankings. He's like 40 spots ahead of Colby Rogers. So if you can get a guy that they see as 40 spots better than the guy that just broke a couple records at Wichita State this last year, I'd be pretty happy with that scoring clip coming in to help out the backcourt. And then today, Justin Hill from Georgia, I think, is on campus visiting as well. So if they can land a couple big backcourt pieces, and you have Quincy Ballard inside who, statistically looking at the metrics, if we're going to bring back up, savant-type stuff, he was one of the best rim protectors in the entire country. So if they can get a little bit more production out of him and have a really good backcourt, it kind of looks like what Mills had at Oral Roberts. Just the roster that he had wasn't an insanely talented team outside of, the top 5 scorer in college basketball history. But just it's kind of got to be a lightning in a bottle type of thing at Wichita State. Now with so much transfer portal stuff going on, you just have to, hope that you can get these guys like Justin Hill that are 10 points per game in the SEC to get them into the AAC and see what they can do at that kind of level and see if they can be a top dog that can help you lead your way up to top of a conference and just see if you can catch lightning in a bottle like Mill did in the Sweet 16 years, kind of what you just have to do, in my opinion, strategy-wise. So
that was an interesting point. A guy from the SEC who kind of was a role player, a bench guy mostly, you're talking about in Hill. Do you prefer that way of going into the portal, trying to find those high major guys that maybe haven't carved out a significant role and see what they can do in the AAC? Or would you like to see a guy who averaged 18, 19 points in a little bit of a lower conference try to step up?
Yeah, it's really interesting now, I think. I think back, 5 years ago when the transfer portal wasn't what it was today and the NIL wasn't what it was today, that Wichita State could go out and get those type of guys, that could come up from a smaller conference and kind of dominate a little bit. But now I think with what we're seeing, I mean, you saw a kid from Towson play for KU last year. So I don't think Wichita State's going to be able to hold their own in those smaller top dog type players. I think that they're going to kind of get their bread and butter getting those guys like Harlan Beverly, who was a role player at Miami, coming in and playing a huge role on a smaller team. And, he was one of the top players this season. So I think that's kind of where you get your bread and butter. It's going to be interesting as well, pairing that with the 2 high school recruits that they got that are, we were talking about it at work, me and Jacob Albrock, where that those are kind of the Greg Marshall-esque recruits, these 3-star high school guys that come in and kind of develop a little bit. I think that it could be a really interesting pairing to get them mixed in a little bit. I feel like they'll get some playing time, in my opinion, along with whatever they build from this. So I'm a little bit optimistic. I don't think that Shocker basketball's back all the way or anything like that, but I expect a little bit better than what we saw this year, to say the least.
Yeah, but don't you think that the biggest problem is going to be NIL money? Let's just be honest. This is the way it's going. It's free agency out there. How much can you actually offer some of these kids that want to go to a Power 5 school that are probably just – they're guys sitting on the bench are probably making more money than anybody else that's starting for Wichita State. There's a lot of those situations. And let's be honest, this is the way it is now. This is the way it was going to go when it all came out. And it's tough for mid-major teams like Wichita State now, to get a team. And the worst part is that if they get one and they have a pretty decent year, all those guys are leaving. They're going somewhere else.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was talking about in the lightning in a bottle type of thing. You get a guy like Colby Rogers that comes in and plays so well, then you run the risk of them going and playing for a Power 5 school that's going to compete for national championships. So you really have to kind of get these guys that nobody else is really looking at. I mean, you like a guy like Justin Hill, like a guy like Harlan Beverly, to get them into the program, see what you can build for that 1 year. And your NIL money is just going to have to be, Wichita State's not going to have enough NIL money to compete with Kansas to go get, if Kansas wanted Colby Rogers, Kansas is going to get Colby Rogers over Wichita State likely because of the NIL. But I think that if they can go out and fighting for a guy like a role player like Justin Hill, like if KU wanted a 8th or 9th man, they could offer this to him. Wichita State could probably offer that as well, and he'll be the top dog at Wichita State. So you can't go into it, comparing ammo to a school like a Power 5 because you're not going to be able to compete with that. But you kind of have to go into comparing what the ammo is for a role player there who will be the star player here, and then kind of build down from that. And so it's really interesting, and it really just comes down to just trying to build for 1 year, because you can't get a sophomore and say, well, he's got 4 years eligibility, so that makes him more attractive, because it really doesn't matter anymore.
Talking with my Channel 12 colleague, Teejay Cleeland. Teejay, what can we expect on the Catch It Kansas show tonight? What else are you working on?
Oh, great question, Jeff.
Thank
I am currently sitting here on the phone at the Shocker Pre-State Challenge here at Cessna Stadium. So we've got some of the best all across the state. We got schools like Stanton County and Kiowa County that made the trek out to Wichita, and we have the elite division. So it's showing the best of the best. 1A, 6A, it doesn't matter. They put the best 8 times against each other and race them. So really an interesting track meet that we got here, and then some great baseball and softball games, as well as kind of what we've worked on throughout the week, just featuring and spotlighting some kids. So that's coming up tonight.
Appreciate it, TJ. Enjoy. Stay. I guess it's kind of getting warm out there. I was going to say stay.
I'm in shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect weather. Enjoy. See you soon. Congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right, later.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
It's a great day to venture out in a spacious and capable Toyota SUV, like the new RAV4. With available all-wheel drive, it can go just about anywhere. And with plenty of passenger and cargo space, you'll go from morning carpool to weekend road trip without missing a beat. Plus, with available features like wireless charging and a touchscreen interface, your Toyota RAV4 will keep you connected no matter where you're going. Or check out a spacious Highlander. With seating for up to 8, it's a hub for family adventure. You'll drive in comfort and style with available heated and ventilated seats and all the latest tech. And with available hybrid models, your new Highlander can save you tons on gas. Right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a RAV4 or Highlander today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.